I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I've realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below and join us.
Hello and welcome. Today we're doing chapter 7. And chapter 7 is Write the Plan with Measurable Action Steps. See the end from the beginning. So the proverb that starts that chapter of the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life After COVID-19, the proverb for chapter 7 is write the vision and make it plain. Making a plan of attack is a secret weapon. This one comes way down on the list of secrets, but it is actually on my list. So I'll tell you why it's way down on the list. For those of us who suffer from being stuck and not moving forward, the most important thing is to move. Some of us are actually perfectionists. We're people who have had great wins in the past and fear how we're going to replicate those great wins. Some of us have had great losses. However, the only way that we can have great losses, which knocks us off our high horse and sends us into a downward spiral, is if we have had great wins to start with. How did we get to that high horse in the first place? Something great happened. So we already know how to plan great wins. We already know how to not get stuck in the weeds and to do life with its challenges and overcome the fears without falling again. There are also borderline people who are not big winners. They have never played big, hence they've never had a situation where they got stuck from that big failure. When we look at successful failures, people who have overcome their challenges, we see that we are in good company, as a matter of fact. Some famous failures include a singer who started at 8 years old and performed on national television in her competition. But she failed. She failed publicly. Her dad subsequently quit his medical equipment sales job to manage her 6-member singing group, which created serious financial pressure on the family. In 1996, almost 10 years later, only 2 members of the original group were still left when Destiny's Child, Beyonce's group, finally had their first hit song. It took 10 years, guys. But they stuck in there. They hung in there and they kept going. Another famous failure, Robert Kiyosaki. He failed at his first business at 30 years old And then again, 3 years later, he continued to fail forward in business numerous times before writing the best selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which sold 26 million copies and became a quote unquote overnight success at 52 years old. By the way, in his book, he talks about living in his car with his wife. Another famous failure, Maya Angelou. She wasn't just stuck, guys. She was sad and stuck. After she gave the rapist's name, he was murdered, and she blamed herself for his death. Due to this, she stopped speaking altogether for 5 straight years. While she was mute, though, she began writing everything down. This is how she communicated with the world. She later wrote 7 autobiographies, including the world-renowned book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, a must-read for all women. All of these people had something specific in common. They had specific dreams that they focused on, secret number 1, visualized, secret number 2, and wrote down, secret number 7, and continued to move forward regardless of life's challenges. None of these people were collegiate scholars. Mr. Kiyosaki even talks about his woeful shortcomings in terms of his academic education. Not allowing this planning phase to hinder the mobility and momentum that you have begun. Remember momentum, secret number 3? Do not go backwards from your micro wins. Start at the beginning? No. Start at the end and plan how you will get there from the beginning. This was difficult for me when I was first starting out. The concept of seeing the end was easily doable. But how was I going to see the journey in between? How was I going to know the steps that were necessary to achieve the goal if I had never achieved it? Especially if the goal was a lofty one, like starting my own television show. Today, everyone can have a show. It's called turning on your computer and pressing record. However, a couple of years back, this required quite a bit of money and imagination. Yes, it allowed your imagination to run wild. Yes, it allows your imagination to run wild. Start with the wild and crazy plan and then hone the plan in and make it more and more realistic as you go along. But start with the crazy plan. Some coaches and teachers will say, don't worry about the details of the plan. Just pay attention to the end goal and the rest will come together. Well, I have tried that advice and I'm here to tell you, I found that nothing happened for me when following that plan. I visualized the end, felt great, wrote it down, and then didn't worry about the plan. I looked at the goal daily and absolutely nothing happened. Therefore, my advice to you is to write the vision, the end goal, and then write the skeleton for the plan of attack. As time progresses and more research is conducted, continue to fill in the skeleton more and more. Keep in mind that your plan may change as more information is provided. Also, it is essential to take some tangible action toward the goal before we get up from our initial decision. So continue to fill in the skeleton and revisit the plan daily. But remember that secret number 3, momentum, about moving forward. So check in to see how you're progressing with the plan. Be flexible on how to achieve it. But do not revisit the goal itself. If you keep revisiting the goal, you will not be able to make progress. Remember that you have already spent a good deal of time formulating a compelling why in secret number 1, a why for achieving that goal. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was looking to start a business networking group several years back in a particular community in the Bronx, New York, I was told by several people that it would not be done. It could not be done as others had already tried it. The market was already saturated. There were enough chambers of commerce, enough networking groups. Why would anyone come to your group, etc., etc.? They were naysayers, all right? And there were many. One man even told me outright to my face, "You will fail." I can clearly remember that man's name and his social security number. He has since passed on. God rest his soul. However, I do not remember the names of those who were neutral or those who were supportive. This is just how our brain works. This was not in, well, I was not in on the early planning, so I can't tell you why this is, but I can tell you what is. So I went to a man who was well known in the business community and asked him for his help. I didn't know exactly how I was going to put together all the business people in that community, as I had recently moved back into that area. I didn't even know who the players were to be invited. But I started working. As I worked, I formulated the plan with more and more clarity. I kept working on it, and eventually, some of those same elected officials who told me initially it wouldn't work were showing up to the event fundraisers. Securing the venue was the hardest part for me. I knew where I wanted to be, but the owner refused to answer my calls or my correspondence. I was at the venue, however, for a policeman's function, and a gentleman by the name of Dunkley agreed to introduce me to the owner. When we met, he agreed to the event and stated that he hadn't answered my calls simply because he didn't know who I was. I was there in the place that I wanted to be, around the people who could help me achieve the goal. Secret number 4, proximity. I had been at home making the phone calls, and it hadn't worked. On that very night, if I had been at home on my cell phone watching videos or talking with friends on the phone, etc., this would not have happened. Another secret is that we do not know what we do not know. So people say, "Oh, just ask questions. Just ask questions, Arlene." But it's hard to ask a question about something that you know nothing about. Furthermore, a successful person who may not know why they're successful is pretty common. A lot of people have achieved goals and achieved dreams, but they don't know how they achieved them. So even for you to ask them outright, "How did you get there?" Some of them really are not able to tell you. It's probably a combination of many things. By being around them, it will be easier to deduce what they did differently from others. The way that the magic happens, or the way that the spirit leads, or the way that the universe generates the right energy is for us to be in the right place around the people who know and just begin to be. Remember the formula: be, do, plan. We'll automatically become whatever we are around for long enough. So be careful of one's company. As a child, you hear the simple concept, "I know who you are by the company you keep." Well, the reason I got a particular Chamber of Commerce presidential position or job was because I knew the chairman of the board. My name would not have come up or would I have been considered if I had not been in proximity or in contact with the chairman. Yes, I still had to be qualified, etc. I still had to interview, but each time I was selected for a promotion or a political position, it was easier if I had proximity with the major players or decision makers. Many people ask me how I ended up working with the Obama campaign in Florida. I lived in New York. I moved to DC working for the DNC. How did I end up working for the Obama campaign in a battleground state? I was on the front lines of all the action. I nearly got crushed at the stadium when President Obama came out, and I was by his side on the platform. I hoped someone has taken that picture and has it somewhere. Well, guys, again, I didn't even apply to work on that campaign in Florida. Again, I had a contact who already was working with the campaign that landed me in President Obama's face again in another state. It doesn't matter how you come into your dream, guys. What matters is that you come into your dream. How did you get your free ticket to the presidential inauguration, you ask? Well, that was another story of a congressman who didn't want to give me a ticket, but gave me the ticket that he blatantly told me he could have gotten $1,000 for. I said that he probably could have gotten even more. He gave me the ticket because of the connection that I had with an alternate politician who gave me his seat. contact me and I'd love to tell you that story. But the book would be too long if I threw in all of my stories. So perhaps I should write a book of stories. No, I probably won't. Again, the point is that we can achieve anything when we implement momentum, visualization, proximity, and focus, as well as all the other secrets in this book. Write them down. Write down what you desire. You can plan, help, and how can a plan help you? And why is it truly one of the major secrets? A plan can help things to go more smoothly. If you already have your ducks in a row on paper, it will give you more strength and courage to move forward. As you speak with other parties regarding your plan, you'll be more easily able to get others on board, your success posse. When they can see your plan and it's mapped out, they will know that you are serious and unstoppable. Don't show your plan to everyone, though. The plan is not to be shown to the people who are the little foxes. Those are the people who are negative, the people who don't support your dream. So if you have a cousin who is now 40 years old and has never given you so much as a free cupcake, don't show that person your plan. However, the stranger at church who tells you how great you are, how wonderful you are, that person who likes you and likes all your photos on Instagram and Facebook and tells you that you were great and wants to see you succeed, show him or her the plan so that he or she can be our cheerleaders. Everyone needs someone who endorses their plan. If no one endorses your plan, not even your mother, then maybe you need to adjust your plan. But don't adjust the goal, just the plan. Another thing before we go on, I'm putting people over books, CDs, tapes. Many practitioners will tell you that books and videos are good. However, there is no substitute for live face-to-face meeting with people. We may read 50 books, but that one personal contact with the key rainmaker, that can catapult us into success. There will be tons of people who hate or dislike us, but remember, we only need one key contact to make our vision a reality. If the manager at Sony is not a fan of yours, for example, but the CEO loves you, then the contract is still secure. Another thing that we need to do, in addition to getting in front of people and having those touch points, is forget about the little foxes. So I mentioned the little foxes, but forget about them. Don't worry about the people who are on the sidelines talking. Focus on the prize or the goal. And I love that quote about the man in the arena, okay? It's the man in the arena or the guy who's running with the ball, who everybody wants to follow, okay? So remember, the little foxes, they don't count. Keep running, keep moving. Story. I can remember going to meet with a senator regarding my networking group and showing her my map or my proposal. It was nicely embossed. I had a plan and she endorsed my plan and showed me at the next networking event that she really supported my plan by showing up. And she brought out a lot more of the business community. More people came to that event than had ever come to any of my previous networking events. She came, why? Because she saw the plan, etc. Now, there were other reasons, of course, such as the local attorney who brought significant funds to her campaign and had also endorsed the venture. But nevertheless, the plan was also a vital force for her moving forward with confidence regarding what I was about to do. The plan gets us off the couch because it brings the ideas out of our heads and into reality where we can test the validity of our plan. Okay, so the summary and the activities, because at the end of each chapter, we have activities. So step number 1, start by writing down the goal that you plan to accomplish. I'll give you tonight to think it over. Tomorrow is the latest, okay? Write the plan by tomorrow. Number 2, then write the goal as if you have already accomplished the goal. Secret number 3, plan backwards. Decide how you were able to achieve that goal in your mind's eye. Study and use research in order to come up with the plan. Include a time frame, specific measurable milestones in that time frame. Number 4, after the plan has been visualized, review the plan daily. This one is vital. Don't put the plan in a drawer and not look at it, but review the plan daily. Do not hide it. Secret number 5, perfect the plan as you move forward and acquire more information and gain new contacts as you move forward with the plan. Find more and more people to add to your success posse so that you can ensure that your plan is going in accordance with your greatest desire. Secret number 6, check the results to see if you're on schedule with arriving at the goal in the appointed or allotted time frame. And secret number 7, in the interim, negate or ignore the little foxes. And there isn't a secret number 8 because that was secret number 7, but I'm going to add secret number 8 and say rinse and repeat for the next goal and for the next vision and for the next plan that you'd like to fulfill. Thank you so much for listening to Chapter 7. You guys, I would love for you to go to www.askarleneshow.com and go ahead and grab your copy of the book, or you can grab your copy of the book on Amazon. And I'd like you to know that as you move forward in your plan or you move forward in your vision, keep in mind that this concept of writing the plan is so amazing. There is a connection between the mind and our physiology, the things that we do. And that connection between the mind and the hand as we write things down is where the magic happens. So some people will say, well, just speak it into your iPhone or just type it on your computer. But there is literally something that happens when we begin to actually write the plan and write the vision and make it plain. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I'm going to ask you to also join our mastermind group so that you can share with us your plan, your vision, and we can help you to move forward with it and ensure that it comes to fruition. So it's all about taking action. Okay, so we can provide these tools and resources that are helpful, but I also need you to actually move forward and contact us so that you can join the mastermind group or get the book. And also, I have a YouTube channel. I'd love for you to click on that after the show. Go to YouTube at Ask Arlene Show, or it's right below there. It says bit.ly/ask, capital A for ask, capital A for Arlene, subscribe, and drop us a line. Tell me what you thought of Chapter 7 of the book. Tell me if you'd like me to read more chapters of the book, okay? And give us feedback as to what your dream or vision or goal is and how it is that you went about achieving it. So in the last few minutes, I would just like to close out and say, I believe in you, I love you, and I want to see you achieve those goals and dreams and visions. Take action with secret number 7 by writing the plan, checking it out, making sure that it has a specific time frame. Okay, look at it every day to make sure that you're on track and continue to build that success posse of people. So I am a life coach and I help you to move forward in that business project or endeavor. So begin with a life coach. It doesn't have to be me specifically, but it can be a life coach, somebody who's going to come alongside you and help to walk with you as you go through that journey to achieve that specific goal or plan. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and I will see you again next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And I'm here to tell you 2 reasons why you should join our Speakers Bureau training and our how to become a world-class speaker. 1, revenue generation. People who know how to communicate well earn more dollars and cents. And 2, if you have a day job, you're not a speaker, teacher, author, trainer, you're going to gain promotion on your job if you're better able to communicate with confidence in those board meetings. Now, you say, why should I join your group, Arlene? There are so many programs out there. Well, I'm guaranteeing you an interview on television or radio if you complete our 10 sessions of our Speakers Bureau training. So I have a plethora of friends that do the same types of things that I do, and so we're guaranteeing you an interview on either television or radio. And you say, well, why else, Arlene? Why else should I join? Well, if you join our Speakers Bureau, after having taken the 10-session training, I am going to help you, along with our team, to launch that speaking career that you always envisioned so that you can use your message to change the world. So there's so many programs out there and they tell you how to be a speaker, but I'm going to actually help you to get booked on paid speaking engagements, on television and on radio if you complete all 10 sessions and you join our Speakers Bureau. I hope to see you there and see you using your dream, your vision, and your talent to change the world. Bye-bye. See you there.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. I'd like to thank our team, Angel, and I would love to ask you to please go to askarleneshow.com, log on, drop me a line, let me know where you are in the process, and we'd love to help you in terms of life coaching. And also text below if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards and tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what points were of interest to you and also what kinds of topics you'd like to see us do in future. All right. Thank you so much for your time, because without you listeners, we don't have a show. And to all of you who have subscribed to the Ask Arlene show today, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Love you much. Till next time, next week, same place, Thursday at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Name some things I'll be without you, good. Stop the growth, I bet you think you could. Said you gon' leave me, man, I wish you would. Yeah, I'm different, so I'm misunderstood. So I'ma always be good. Said I'ma always